Hey, I'm going live. Hey, everyone. Sorry about the confusion, but we do have Judge Moore on. This is Dr. Mister of Soar and Reap Physical Therapy. Just some confusion in emails, and I apologize. So we are going to go ahead and start. And if you can't watch it now, you can come back and watch it later. We do have Judge Moore on. So Judge Carlos Moore is a native of Mississippi. He is a civil rights attorney. And in 2017, he became the first African American municipal judge in Clarksdale, Mississippi. And in 2020, he became the first African American municipal judge in Grenada, Mississippi. He is the managing partner of the Cochran firm. He was named one of African Leadership Magazine's top 100 most influential African American leaders in the United States. He is president-elect of the National Bar Association and will be sworn in this July. He also was involved in an effort to change the Mississippi state flag and had the Confederate flag removed from his courtroom on his very first day in the courtroom. So he is married to Miss Natalie, who is also a native of Grenada, and together they have one daughter. So let's bring on Judge Carlos Moore. Hello, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
I am doing fine, doing fine. Again, sorry about the mix-up. You guys, please share. We finally got the judge on. Thank you again, sir, for your time. So let's go ahead and get started. So tell us about yourself. Like, where are you from? High school? What colleges you attended?
All right. Thanks for having me, first of all. And Judge Carlos Moore, I am from Moss Point, Mississippi, on the Gulf Coast, about 30 miles from Mobile, Alabama, and about 20 miles from Biloxi, there on the Gulf Coast. I finished Moss Point High School in 1995. I went to the University of South Alabama, where I majored in political science. I went to law school at Florida State University College of Law in Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay, cool, cool. And any special organizations that you are part of?
You probably see this red behind me. This is my Kappa here. So I'm a Kappa. I was part of the Black Student Union. I was president in college for 2 years. I was part of the National Black Law Students Association in law school. And just been very active. I was student body president in high school, salutatorian. So I've always been active. I've done in school or college.
Good deal. One salutatorian to the next. There it is. Yes, yes. I respect salutatorians. I always say, we worked hard for that second place. All right. So you are a judge, but for the kids, because this is more geared towards youth and like kids and young adults.
Okay.
What are you doing as a judge? Like, what is your primary goal? Or the thing
as
that you do?
Judge, I'm a municipal judge, so I deal with a lot of misdemeanors. Traffic, DUIs, first offenses, anything that can put you in jail for a year or less, I deal with. I also do initial appearances or preliminary hearings for felony. So it could go all the way up to murder or whatever. We do the initials for that, prelims for that. We also do arrest warrants, search warrants, and all that kind of thing, set bail. But what people know me for is I have a alternative sentencing program that I've called Do Better ASAP.
Yes.
Do Better Alternative Sentencing Accountability Program, where I create creative sentences for youthful offenders, first-time offenders, nonviolent offenders, where I give them a chance to better themselves, and in exchange for bettering themselves, whether or not it's pulling up their grades, getting a GED, going to trade school, going to community college, going to college, going in the military, going to police academy or fire academy, even voting or writing an essay about they do something like that. I give them a break. I don't give them a fine or put them in jail for that first offense, that nonviolent offense. And so it's affecting a lot of lives, and we're happy to do it.
Yes, and that's one of the things I was going to bring up too. That's awesome. That's amazing what you're doing for the youth. And that's when I saw that on Facebook, that was the thing that made me reach out and say, hey, like, that's amazing what you're doing. And those kids, because when you're young, I mean, that's one of the things of being young, right? You make the mistakes. So you have to be given a chance to correct that, because going to jail for a long time for something that was minor, it's permanent. That child will be, it's done. So, all right. So, how did you find out? Let's talk about being a judge. Was it something that you always wanted to do, or was it something that, like, as you got older, it just happened?
Yeah, I've long wanted to be a lawyer, but being a judge never was really a part of my overall plan. It's just something I've kind of fallen into. I supported the right candidates for office on the municipal side, and the mayor and the board decided to make me a judge in Clarksdale, and the same thing happened in Grenada. It's not really that I just had a lifelong yearning do, but I believe it was preordained by God for me to do it, and so I'm glad to be doing it.
Gotcha, gotcha. And so your mentors, do you have any now or back then that helped you become a judge or to follow law?
Yeah, the mentor I had in college was a Kappa, and he was a judge, a lawyer, a board of trustees for my university. And so, as I told you, I was very involved with the university. So I knew him. He was the one that had gone to Florida State Law School, so I followed in his footsteps. He was a judge on the circuit bench, so I have become a judge, following his footsteps pretty much. And we're now still working together. President, he's the vice president of the Alumni Society for our alma mater, University of South Alabama. So things are coming full circle. But
Mhm.
he's probably had the biggest influence on me. Coming up, I didn't know. I knew one male judge. The judge was a black. I didn't really know him. I knew of him, and then there was a black lady that was a lawyer, and I met her maybe during my years, but she has spoken twice, but I didn't know.
Gotcha, gotcha. So to be a lawyer and to get into law school, do you have to be pre-law? Like, is there a specific major that they look for?
No, you can major in anything and go to law school. You just have to do well in whatever you major in, keep your GPA up in college, get your bachelor's degree, and you have to pass the LSAT, do good on the LSAT, and you can go to law school. And that's law school admissions test. And so I did political science,
Okay.
minored in psychology, but the
Okay.
test people can take to go to law
Gotcha.
school.
Okay. So personality type or skill sets, do you feel like is needed to be a lawyer or even a judge? Seems like you guys got to have thick skin, so because
Yeah,
you're a lot. Yeah.
definitely have to have thick skin
Yeah.
to be a litigator. Now, if you want to be a transactional lawyer, dealing in a lot of taxes and paperwork kind of stuff, you may not have to be able to talk as well. But if you want to be a litigator in the courtroom, actively representing clients, fighting on their behalf, you do pretty
Got
outgoing and like to speak well. I also like to write, writing and reading.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right. So being either a lawyer or a judge, because I know you know do both. What are some of the benefits you think of being in your career?
I think benefits you get to in my profession as a lawyer, I get to fight on behalf of the little guy, the common Joe. So I give voice to the voiceless. I like doing that. I love being a vanguard for justice. Once you become a lawyer, you're automatically seen as a leader in your community. You have the background, the skills, uh, the cred to be a leader, and so I enjoy that. And as more respect and influence, and so I've enjoyed being able to set some precedent and show a way forward. Well,
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So on the flip side, what are some of the drawbacks or some of the things you're like, okay, if you ever decide to go on this path, watch out for this, this, and this that you would tell you?
the drawbacks, it's a lot of work, and it takes up a lot of time. So if you're not willing to
Mhm.
work hard, law is not for you. You will, a lot of times your clients are grateful, but you're going to have a few clients that are not grateful. They'll stab you in your back. So you have to be ready for that. If you lose their case, they may come after you some kind of way, and you would have fought hard for them and did everything you could, but you just prepared. That's part for the course. Um, for being a judge, I guess that being a judge, you have to be a little more careful what you say and what you do than you have to be as a lawyer. So you're held even to a higher standard. Judicial canon, you have to live by. Just have to be very careful. But other than that, I enjoy it.
Okay. All right. All right. So seems high stress, but medicine and law, that's the part because you know we meet them at that point where they're kind of at their lowest, not feeling their best. So that emotional drain at the end of the day, it's a real thing. And you know, physically you're fine, but mentally you're like, can I just have a moment? So I certainly understand that. The courts, if they shut down, was anything in your career affected by COVID at all?
Yeah, the court shut down. We stopped having court live for I think about 3 months, and we would do things via Zoom. That we had to do the initial appearances, things. The cops would call me to say all over the phone or whatever. But we're now back having court live. We just socially distance. Uh, we've erected an area in the new courtroom to keep the judge and clerks from the litigants or whatever. My office may have shut down 2 weeks, but
Okay.
open. We would lock the door and only let a few people in a mask, but we have been there in the office still working. A lot of we're doing depositions,
Gotcha.
all that kind of stuff.
Okay, all right. And then, so for kids and young adults who want to be either a lawyer or a judge, what advice will you give them? Like that you wish you would have known, you know?
Yeah, study hard now. Try to make good grades. You should be doing good in history. You should be doing good in English, government classes, that type of thing. Anywhere where you have to write or speak, or you should do debate club or be involved as much as you can in a student government. Be a well-rounded individual so that you get leadership as well as academic college, and just put your best foot forward. And we need more lawyers. There are not enough Black lawyers in this country. Out of all the lawyers in the country, only 5% African American, and so we definitely could use more.
5%. Wow. All right. And you guys, he also has a book called The Five Brothers, Our Journey to Successful Careers in Law and Medicine, whereas yourself and four other your brothers, they're not your biological brothers, but y'all call each other brothers, and I get that. So I did order my copy. I was meaning to order it and have it here to show, but I ordered it. It's on the way. It should be here this weekend. And that's something that I started to purchase it on Audible. But then it's like, well, I want something physical that I can give to, because I have a son myself. Like, I want to give him that book and say, hey, look, read this. You know, it's good to have a role model in your house, but also outside. Representation is very important. So, Judge, we are here. And yesterday I saw that you guys celebrated 15 years in law. So you gave out the $15 gift gas card with mask and hand sanitizer. So congratulations on all of that. And anything else you want to bring up? Because I do want to say that you are Black History. I wore this shirt just for you. The things that you are doing for the people that Do Better ASAP program you have is absolutely amazing. Kudos to you for that. Anything else you want to say before I let you go? Because you look drained. I get it.
I'm just thankful, Doctor, that you invited me to come in and speak to you and your crew, and I appreciate what you're doing on the front lines during these perilous times. Unprecedented times, and I think we're on the back end of this, and I'm encouraging people to get the vaccination. I've got my first shot at the end of the month, and so I think we'll get through this together prayerfully and move on without bigger and better and stronger because of surviving COVID. But thanks for being on the front line. Thanks for having me, and please do encourage more people to buy the book. We have told our stories as first generational professionals in law, medicine, and on the bench. So thanks again.
Yeah, anytime, you guys. It's on Amazon. That's why I purchased mine, but it's also on Audible. So check it out. And again, thank you, Judge. I'm going to let you go. Thank you all for tuning in. See you guys next week. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye-bye.